Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome to a building challenge video. Alright, we've got a brand new level right here. Haven't even given it a name yet. I got my song Sunlit Thunderscapes by Ocular Nebula. Fade in 20-second start offset. The challenge for today is not to use these blocks at all. All of my gameplay has to be with slopes. I'm going to extend the challenge to also have to use only slopes for decoration too. So for gameplay, I can stick teleportals at the beginning. I can use any sort of portals and orbs that I want to use. With the obvious exception of triggers, I can only use slopes for everything else. So we'll start off the level with an alpha trigger for group 1. And a move trigger for group 2 that is going to be moving along the x-axis like so. I wonder if this counts as using a slope, because technically I could have this for the ground. Yeah, I guess. Because this way it goes all bumpy and glitchy and it's all weird, so the music cuts in right where my icon is. I'm going to have a yellow jump pad like so. So since I can't use spikes, I'm having to improvise with the way I'm using slopes. So if you don't hit this yellow orb, you get hit by the top. So I've got a dash orb that stops right before the ground to get onto the other gravity right here. Then you're going to hit this pink orb late. If you hit it too early, you will crash into the edge of this block. And then you're going to hit a blue gravity portal. I don't know where this is going to go from here, honestly. I've kind of run out of ideas. I'm surprised at how smoothly this plays so far. I haven't really had any issues playtesting at all. I thought the slopes might have been buggy at times, but they're working pretty fine. This isn't going to be a full level, but theoretically there would be a portal around about here. You dash right at the end of this part and hit the yellow orb to go over the barrier, and then it will cut to the next part. I think this is pretty solid gameplay. No spikes, no saws, but if you put a foot wrong, you will get punished by the barriers of the slopes like this one. Right now I'm just making sloped edges to the blocks without there being a way to just ramp back up onto the gameplay. See, right here it's fine to have a normal sloped edge because you have to hit this dash orb to flip the gravity. There's no way you can just skip right back onto this block. So now, I guess it's time to make the visuals. So this is all on editor layer 0, all of the gameplay and stuff. Before we go any deeper, I need to change the background to the blank one. I'm going to change it to this cyan kind of colour. Okay, so to start off making the visuals, I need to place a square, set it to the next free colour, copy the background colour like so, so it matches. Then above this square, we need another one on colour channel 3. It's going to be low opacity black. I'm going to say 0.3 opacity. Let's just slide that on top. And this is the difference that we need to make up in the bottom block. So we'll slide this on top like so. And this is the difference that we need to make in the bottom block. So we're going to use the RGB button like so. In fact, for this to work, I need to copy the background color and place it into color channel 2 manually like this. So it's still going to be the same. And then we need to turn up the brightness on that block just so it matches the exact color of the background like that. So when the grid is off, you can literally not see where this object is, although it is still there. So this is just a lighter square with a darker square on top that makes it the same color as the background. You can probably see where I'm going with this. I'm going to make this square B3 and just 5 or something like that. And we'll put the low opacity black square on top on B2 and 5 as well, just to keep it consistent. And then on editor layer 0, I'm going to select literally everything and put it on B3 and something above 5. So it's above the bottom layer, but underneath the darker layer. So now you can see when I extend the blocks over the top of this structure like so, that there's now a darker patch where these blocks cover. And that's just these objects going underneath the darkened layer, but not the background, or I should say the back piece. But remember, we are not allowed to use squares, so I'm going to have to copy the value of this, make a slope like so, paste the state, copy again, make another copy of this and paste the state. Get rid of the squares because we don't use them. So if we have a shape like this, in fact I'm going to quickly take the darkening layers like so, put them on editor layer 2 so I can differentiate between what's what. I want a copy of this bottom layer that uses a lighter version of the background color, put it on editor layer 3 and we'll put the Z order on 3 as well. So it's important right here that the gap between this layer and this layer is 2 Z orders instead of 1, because there will be something going in between these. But then these stick out, so we need to go back, select these, and make another color that actually copies the background color this time, and it's just going underneath. So boom, that's what it's looking like at the moment. But basically, I'm going to be copying these 3 layers and making a massive stripe that covers all of the blocks. So I want to have a bunch of them moving consistently in the background, and I'm just going to space them by 10 blocks apart like that. So now I'm filling in all of these structures with just plain white object on color 1. And I'm having to double up 45-degree slopes to make a square for this, which is going to take objects, but it's going to be worth it. Boom, there you have it. Just to prove that the insides are indeed slopes, I'll place one down, delete all the objects. As you can see, they've vanished. I need to make that little square of slopes again, 4 objects, boom. Right, so we'll scale it up, move it into place, give it group 2, and also a new group 4, I think. These have pretty much the same Z order as the slopes and stuff. So I've extended it these 10 blocks right here, and it's on group 4. So at the very beginning of the level, group 4 needs to be set back about 80 blocks, just so it fills up the left hand side of the screen right away in a jiffy. So group 4, so as you can see, the first frame, there's already blocks far off to the left just to fill up that custom ground space. Hold up, the ground is on the wrong layer. God damn. Okay, so this needs to be B3, not B2, that was a mistake. There we go, now the stripes are showing. So you may be wondering where these stripes come into play. So we've got the first 2 that are used for the effect on the blocks. Then there's going to be arrows going behind these. Not in between, but actually behind these stripes, so they get covered up in this space. But the arrows will display on top of these stripes. And then in the background, like quite far back, I want to have a bit of depth. I want to have some stripes that go underneath this layer right here. So there's going to be a couple of masks right now. This is on 0.5. It's also on B4 and -5 just because it's a nice number. It really doesn't matter how far behind it is behind this layer, because it's definitely going to be the furthest thing back. So I might as well just have it on B4. We'll just continue this slope upwards like this, so we have a nice thin strip that is still using slopes. I want these stripes to be a low opacity white, and you know what? Since the low opacity black is 0.3, I'm also going to put the white on 0.3 just for consistency. And then I'm going to extend the strips out like so. This is a hell of a lot of objects, but it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put this on group 4, so it gets shoved back to the left, and it will start far off on the left hand side of the display too. Then it needs a new moving group, so 5. So these new strips are kind of going to move as a clone of the move trigger above. This was on 1,000 blocks to the left, but this one is on 750, just with group 5 instead. I also kind of forgot to add them to group 2, which is the moving group. Damn, this is weird to look at. It's really disorientating which lines are which, and the different speeds they're moving, how they're obscuring and stuff. I like it. Well, yes, it works, but I think I would rather have the range of the back-end slopes a little bit bigger. Alright, so I've deleted the main chunk of these strips just for the moment, so I can focus on this one set. I'm going to select the far right strip and just move it 1 to the right. I'm going to temporarily move it to another editor layer so I can just quickly select the left stripe and move it 1. Then we just need to do the copy paste, move 10 thing. Sweet. There we go. That's a bit fatter now. Although I do kind of wish that there was more layers in the background. I feel like I could reduce the opacity of these strips to maybe a 0.2 and then have another set that moves with it. So let me copy paste these, put them on a new editor layer, give them a new moving group, and I'm also going to set them to a new color that is 0.1 opacity. And the new group can move something like -375, just half of the speed of what the other one was. Let me not forget to change the group ID. Boom, that has a bit more to it now. Yeah, this is looking sweet. I really like how the stripes work together. So you may be thinking, Wulzy, what are you doing? You can't use arrows. Oh yes, I can. Bam, custom arrows. B3, Z order 4. I almost put it on 6 because I'm an idiot. Color channel 1. So now these should go behind the stripes. Yeah, there we go, you can see it already. Using the select filter set to slopes, I'm just going to go ahead, take all of these objects and just turn them off with group 1, which are set to an alpha trigger at the very beginning with 0 opacity. As you can see, it may be 5,000 objects, but I've surprised myself in this video being able to use masks with only slope objects. I gotta say, I didn't think of this building challenge by myself. Someone in the comments suggested it. So leave a comment down below suggesting what building challenges you'd like to see. Maybe I'll do it in the future. Thank you for watching this Geometry Dash building challenge. Make sure you follow all of my socials linked in the description. I'm probably going to stream some building challenges very soon, just like this. You'll be able to watch it live. Check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/Wulzy. Leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Remember, I will be taking suggestions for building challenges. And have a good day. I'm out of breath.